Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Yudha Alzas Pratama from UIN Syarif Hidayatullah, Jakarta. Ladies and gentlemen, on 1st June 2020, the Indonesian government began implementing the new normal scenario to restore the economic situation since the first COVID-19 case was confirmed last March. It is followed by the socialization of standard health protocols in various places and conditions in order to prevent the spike of COVID-19 cases during the new normal transition period. The government communicates intensively to society through various channels, such as the daily report on several TV stations every day. Not to mention that Satgas COVID-19 also creates an official social media account containing information related to COVID-19. Apart from that, the health protocol campaign was also carried out physically and even conducting raids to directly supervise the implementation of health protocols by the community and society. Unfortunately, the active cases of COVID-19 in Indonesia is increasing. At the end of August to the middle of October, it raised significantly to more than 4,000 cases per day. This phenomenon is claimed by Wiku Adhisa Smito, the spokesperson for Satgas COVID-19, due to change in people's behavior to implement health protocols that have not been complete and optimal, despite the fact that the new normal campaign and adaptation of new habits and also health protocol conducted. So the big question, ladies and gentlemen, why can the socializations and campaigns stop this phenomenon? Are the health protocol socializations ineffective? If so, then what is the best solution for this? As a communication science student, I believe that there are several things that government needs to improve so that the socialization of health protocols to the public runs well. According to the communication theory, a communication is said to be successful if the communicator succeeds in conveying a message that can be understood by the communicant and has a real effect. And that's why it's said to be an effective communication. So the government needs to innovate the communication policies so that the new normal campaign and adaptation of these new habits are successful. Ladies and gentlemen, the first innovation that must be taken is coloring the discourse of COVID-19 in the public. What I mean by coloring is to adjust the communication style with different communicant target. The target of socialization of these health protocols is the entire society, the entire population, from the children to adults. So far, Satgas COVID-19 has been quiet enough at providing information and socialization campaigns through social media, especially Instagram, with educational posts in the form of interesting comics and futuristic infographics. However, it seemed that this has not been very effective for creating awareness. From my observation on the Satgas COVID-19 Instagram account, the posts uploaded seem to have received less attention from the public. It can be seen from the number of shares, likes, communications, comments as the feedback provided by the community. So a good and futuristic design is no longer the main factor but the use of language that suits the communicant. Recently, Satgas COVID-19 held an online Mobile Legends tournament which was opposed by some parties of course, but in my opinion, this step is quite appropriate to implement the stay-at-home protocol for children to adolescents. It's just that they lack in managing communication to the public. So many people think that Satgas COVID-19 is actually playing in this precarious situation. Another example, ladies and gentlemen, is using comedy because jokes and entertainment posting seems to receive more attention on social media. We can use parody videos, trending meme templates, which are still suitable for use of course, as our educational media. Netizens tend to repost funny and interesting posts they find, and that way we can get an unofficial sharing agent to help us spread our posts and educate wider community and society. Apart from social media, campaign content in the mass media must also be considered. Most or even all of the COVID-19 information is delivered as serious news and TV programs which some audiences find it's very boring and uninteresting. Meanwhile, lately, sinetron fever has in fact Indonesian housewife, many Indonesian housewife, or in modern accent, we call them as emak-emak, where they generally rarely watch the news programs. So the socialization of this health protocol must be inserted into sinetron that are widely watched by this emak-emak. Because when you convince emak-emak about the importance of implementing health protocols during a pandemic, it is that we have convinced the entire household to adhere to health protocols. We know that the power of emak-emak in Indonesia hold a strong dominance in controlling the activities of their families. So they will limit their children to play outside, remind their husband to really use masks, keep their distance, and maintain personal hygiene when working outside the home. This aspect is quite important but not getting enough attention than it should. Ladies and gentlemen, the next innovation, which still closely related to previous discussion, is to collaborate with some related parties. Satgas COVID-19 and government must work with influencers, YouTubers, artists, celebrities, and public figures who have millions of followers and fans to participate in campaigning for health protocols in their own unique styles, in their own unique ways. Society will believe even more if the person who speaks is the one who they respect. Because in the communication theory explains that the authority is one of the factors that determine the success of communicator in influencing the communicant. Besides scientific authority, there is also an authority that society gives to a person, which actually can lead to the figurity. But when someone who is trusted by the community talks about one thing, there is an urge to believe and carry out what that figure says. That's why collaborating is an important thing to do now. Ladies and gentlemen, until this speech was recorded, the COVID-19 cases will continue to grow over the next weeks and even months if we don't make any serious change. Epidemiology says that there are two ways to get out of this situation. First, to vaccinate the Indonesian population, the entire Indonesian population. However, as we know, the COVID-19 vaccine is still on the construction stage and cannot be disseminated soon. So like it or not, we have to resort to the second way, which is to ensure that the most people implement the health protocol during this new normal period. That's why an effective communication is the key to success in winning this war. The war against fear and insecurity, the war against division and mistrust, the war against economic and health deterioration, and the war against one and only enemy, that is COVID-19. Together, we can win this war and save tomorrow. That's all from me. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.